guys, it's Amy with A2Z Stamping, and today I wanted to do a card for you using the sheet music background stamp. I love our background stamps, and sheet music was one of my most favorite stamps out of last year's catalog, and it's still in this year's catalog. And I thought I would show you this pretty card I came up with using this as my background stamp. And then I'm going to be also using the Very Vintage stamp set. This stamp set is a host stamp set, so you can only get this stamp set with Hostess Rewards. And if you have questions about that, send me an email or a comment here, and I'd be happy to explain it to you if you have any questions about it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is stamp with our background stamp, and I've got that right here on my block, and I'm actually going to do this whole card in Old Olive. I love Old Olive. It's one of those colors that you either love it or you don't love it, but I happen to love it. It used to be in the Brights, but now it is in the Regals collection. There's my dimensionals I've been looking for. Anyway, it's now one of the Regals. It moved over to Regals, and I love it. I think it's such a pretty color green. Okay, so you need a piece of scrap paper, and so I have some grid paper here, and I have a piece of very vanilla cardstock, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to stamp the sheet music right onto here. So what I'm going to do is first ink up my stamp. So again, I put it on my block, and I'm going to just ink it all up just by lightly pressing on the ink pad, get it nice and inked up. Okay. Then I can just barely fit this in my hand. Actually, I'm going to turn it this way. And I know I want this side on the left. It does matter with the music. If you know music, we want this to be on the left. So I'm going to make sure that's on my left, but now that's going to be the bottom. And I'm just going to line it up here and press. And then lift, and there we go. Perfect. All right, and now to clean this off, now with the chamois, it's so easy to clean the background stamps. So your chamois is just wet, or it's damp, it stays wet, and I can just wipe this all off. So you get all that ink, and it gets in there and gets this all nice and clean. There we go, and now I can put it away. So simple. See how I can really get in there and get that all cleaned off? I love it for the background stamps. Let me get all that ink out of there. And then just to be sure I got in there, I like to take it and just kind of, there we go, and looks good. So now it's all clean and ready for the next time I want to stamp with it. Put it back in the case. All right. And then I'm going to grab from the Very Vintage stamp set, I'm going to grab this giant flower here, and I'm going to grab the You're a Blessing. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the You're a Blessing on this tiny little piece of Very Vanilla. And let me give you the dimensions here. This tiny little piece is 1 1/4 by 1 inch. 1 1/4 by 1, tiny, teeny, tiny. And this says You're a Blessing. So you want to make sure you get it, since it is a clear mount stamp, which means it's red rubber. It's actually not clear. I know that's confusing since it has the word clear in the name. Actually, it goes this way. You're a Blessing. You want to make sure it's nice and straight on your block, so that you can stamp it nice and straight. So I'm going to dip it in the Old Olive, and I'm just going to line it up here. I want to get right over the top of it. Actually, I'm going to pull it way closer to me. Sorry, guys. It's not a great shot for you. And I'm going to stamp You're a Blessing. And actually, that's a little bit higher than I want, so I'm going to flip it over. Remember, all paper has 2 sides. I'm going to try it one more time. This time I'm going to go a little bit lower. Get it. Actually, I don't need this grid paper. I want to get it nice and straight. I'm going to stamp. Sorry, I need it right in front of me. You're a Blessing. Is that better? Actually, that one's kind of crooked, so I'm going to go with that one that's up high. All right, and grab my chamois and go ahead and clean that off, so that's nice and clean. All right, and then I'm going to grab this giant flower here, and I'm going to be stamping that on this piece of Very Vanilla cardstock, and this one here measures at 2 1/2 by 4. And I'm going to ink this up. Okay, and this I'm going to stamp right on here up toward the top. Okay, and stamp. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, clean that one off. And that is all clean and ready to be put away. All right, and that is all my stamping. So So now I've got all these to be mounted. So this one here is 2 1/4 by 4 1/4 old olive cardstock. And this is going to go right on here. Did I say that was 2? Let me just make sure. No, it's 2 1/2. So this is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And that's going to line up right here. And then this guy right here is going on this piece of old olive. Oh, actually, no, that one looks a little bit crooked. And this little tiny piece of old olive, let's see, was this 1 1/2? You guys, my memory's shot today. It was 1 1/4. So this is 1 1/2 by 1 1/4. And this is going to go right on here. All right, and then our pretty little sheet music is going on the front of our old olive cardstock. So this is going to be our card base, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. I don't know what I've got right there. I'm going to fold it in half. Grab my bone folder, give it a nice fold. And I'm going to stick adhesive on the back of this. And this is going to go right here on my old olive. And then stick adhesive on the back of these guys. All right, this is going to go right here, top center. Very pretty. And then finally, this is going to go right here, which is why we left this little space at the bottom. And that is my card. Isn't that so pretty? And it was so easy to do. And you guys could reproduce this in any color you have. Here's one I did earlier. And see, isn't that so pretty? That those roses or flowers or whatever they are. You're a blessing. I just love that. And you can see this one, this sheet music stamped a little bit more over than this one is. Doesn't matter. Still looks awesome. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. And that you'll check out the background stamps, especially sheet music. I just love that. And if you know what this song is, someone tell me. I am not gifted with the piano or music, so I'm not sure what this is. But I've always been curious if this is like a song that we all know. Anyway, I hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my group on Facebook, A2Z Stamping. Thanks, guys. Bye.